Okay, now I've got another use for this basil plant. All right, so that involves what I have in this device here. Has anyone heard of a Dewar flask? D-E-W-A-R, spelled like a Scotch. And that's just super insulated. And in here, we have liquid nitrogen. Okay, liquid nitrogen is ordinary atmospheric nitrogen. They have special machines to compress and expand it in the air and so on, and they separate the nitrogen and the oxygen. Okay, so liquid nitrogen is at 77 Kelvin. That's degrees above absolute zero on the Celsius scale. So it's minus 196 Celsius on the ordinary Celsius scale. So what is that? It's about 330 or so, minus 330 Fahrenheit. So you ordinarily think of nitrogen as a gas, but you can't make it liquid. Oops, I think I overfilled it. Well, let's see. I can see it. Oh, that's cold. Okay, here's my Dewar full of liquid nitrogen, and we're going to pour some into a small container, yogurt container, and we'll see how it boils immediately. If you really want frostbite,
No thanks.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
why is that safe? Anybody guess?
Because if it's liquid nitrogen, obviously over time it's going to, if you put your finger in there, it extend it and eventually once it's frozen.
Oh, but I didn't freeze at all. What happened is it turned into gas right around my finger, and that insulated my finger. Now, if I delay, I will get frostbite. Freezing is pretty fast, but I can stick my finger in it if I take it out fast, as I explained in the regular video. Okay, but want to sniff that and pass it around? So it's actual, real basil plant. It's not a fake basil plant. It's not a plastic plant. By the way, you can buy this stuff at Airgas on Archuleta Road up by Loman. They sell the most wild assortment of gases. I was talking to a guy there who is, what does he call it, the Emergency Response Organization member. So if there's a spill of some gas, they will go around and help the emergency teams. So one of the most dangerous gases that they have, and I'm surprised they sell it, compressed gas, hydrogen sulfide, the rotten egg smells. It is many, many times more poisonous than cyanide. One full breath of hydrogen sulfide and you are dead. There's no reviving you. With cyanide, you can be revived. With hydrogen sulfide, there's no chance. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? Well, we're going to keep it away from it.
Nice. Grease, watch.
What happens if I freeze this really well?
Grease.
It's much colder than dry ice.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so why did it break like that?
Because when most of it they put it into the gas nitrogen, it froze, and since ice is
Ice is very brittle. Right. Yeah. So it's basically all ice. And okay, nice flexible leaves of basil, and we will stick the leaves into the liquid nitrogen. Should be very well frozen. We'll put it down here, and you can see it shatters like glass.
scented ice.
See, now marshmallows are sort of self-insulating, but so it takes a little longer to make them. I probably have to hold it under. Oh, and yeah. The last time I did this, we had a sticky mess all over. So I'm going to break it on here. Poor marshmallow. You can still eat it after it's done. Okay. Does it look like it's pretty well frozen? We'll find out. You know, you usually don't see a marshmallow shattering, right? But
Killed it.
still not. Okay, the other thing is, it was frozen at liquid nitrogen temperature when I could eat it. Because it has very little heat capacity. So even though it gets very cold, my mouth warms it instantly. Anybody else want to try it? You want to put it in?
Put in the box.
This is what it looks like as it's boiling away.
Mary, she touch it.
It's just like boiling water. It's just a water.
That looks delicious. I know, right?
Well, not the liquid nitrogen.
Heat of the marshmallow.
The marshmallow, not the
Oil.
Oh, could I get these back? Oh, thank you. Great. All right. Yeah, we'll have these around for a little while too. Does anybody know this chemical element?
Reese knows.
You want to pass it around? Be careful, the edge is very sharp because it was shattered from a mold. I'll give you a hint. It's not a metal. It's called a semi-metal because of the way it looks.
Is it natural or synthetic?
It's a natural element. It's just that it's been ultra purified. And what happened is, well, it's hard to know. This might have been the end of the melt, and they have to break it out. So this might be the part where they pushed all the impurities, the tiny, tiny little level of impurities. Okay, do you have a guess?
I think it's a magnet or something.
It's not a magnet, it's non-magnetic.
Oh my goodness.
It's a pure element.
Is it a liquid?
Sorry?
I think it's a liquid.
No.
Is it heavy?
Okay. If you ever see the periodic table, it's element number 14.
Wait, uranium?
It's an analog of carbon.
Uranium?
Oh, wow.
Nope, that's much heavier. Yeah.
Are you magnesium?
No, that's a metal. And it's silicon. It's ultra pure silicon.
Wow.
So when they're making semiconductors, for your computer, your phone, or anything, they make ultra pure silicon, and they make it in this big melt. By the way, the factory that does this uses as much electricity as a city of 28,000 people. So they got all these melts going on. They melt a whole block of it slowly, and they move the melting rings up. So the last little impurities, there are only a few parts in a billion, are moving up. So that might be the end where they pushed the last impurities, and then they're going to slice all the rest of it to make chips. And here is that sample of silicon, quite iridescent. There's that conchoidal fracture. And the very sharp edge. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the liquid nitrogen. I think these guys are pretty well. In what? In a minute. Who's going to pull this out? Okay, you have your hand up first. So you want to do it reasonably quickly. So if we do it quickly enough, then it won't unfreeze while we're doing it. So just grab it around the middle somewhere. Okay, and drop it on there. Oh, I need a hammer. Okay, go for it. Oh, very vigorous. Let's get this off the floor so it doesn't become a sticky. Okay, so the basil plant has done its work.
I get the second one out of the.
Oh, so is my silicon back somewhere? Ah, okay. Great.
Yours safe.
Thank you.
Buddy.
See, has anybody ever seen volcanic glass obsidian?
Oh, yes. Oh, I have
That's a kind of fracture.
I have
that-
obsidian at my
It's
house.
called conchoidal because it looks like a conch, but it's very, very sharp when it does.
Like obsidian.
Careful with that.